Welcome to Take 5. This week I want to share with you a very brief reflection from one of my favorite authors. His name is Henry Nouwen, and he was a mystical, spiritual man who dedicated his life to living among people with disabilities and helping them find their spiritual connection to God. And he has much to teach us also. I'm going to be reading to you from a book called Bread for the Journey, which is a daily devotional, one devotion for each day of the year. And this one is about solitude. It's called The Voice in the Garden of Solitude. Solitude is the garden for our hearts, which yearn for love. It is the place where our aloneness can bear fruit. It is the home for our restless bodies and anxious minds. Solitude, whether it is connected with a physical space or not, is essential for our spiritual lives. It is not an easy place to be, since we are so insecure and fearful that we are easily distracted by whatever promises immediate satisfaction. Solitude is not immediately satisfying, because in solitude we meet our demons, our addictions, our feelings of lust and anger, and our immense need for recognition and approval. But if we do not run away, we will meet there also the one who says, "Do not be afraid. I am with you, and I will guide you through the valley of darkness." Let's keep returning to our solitude. Some of you have heard me tell the story of my last year of seminary, when I had to be away from my family for 9 months studying at a Lutheran seminary in Columbus, Ohio. I was 49 years old, moving into a dorm, into a city where I knew no one, a relatively poor student with a car and what I needed, but no friends, no relationships in that space. And I remember the day that Bob and the boys dropped me off and we unpacked all my stuff into my room, and they waved goodbye and drove back home. And there I was, alone in this beautiful city. But it was the first time in my life that I had ever experienced true loneliness. Of course, there were things to do, there were places I needed to be as I prepared to begin my final year of seminary, but there was still a lot of downtime. Now, if you know me, you would probably think that I would have been in the middle of all the activity, seeking out people, the extrovert. But that's not what happened. What happened was I pulled into myself. I stayed in my dorm room when I didn't have to be somewhere else. I had no phone hooked up yet. I had no cell phone. And so for the first time in my life, I really experienced what it was like for extended periods of time to be alone with me. And I didn't like it, not one bit. I experienced the pain of loneliness, the insecurity that comes with that. Wondering, well, if I step out of this room, if I step into the seminary community, will people like me? Will they accept me? Will they think I'm good enough? And so I did what I do. I thought, I know, I'll go to the fabulous mall in Columbus. I'll go shopping. I had no money to spend, nothing. But I thought if I can just be around people in a busy environment with lights and music and lots of people, then I'll be happy again. And so I got in my car and I found the mall. I think I got lost, but that's okay. I found it. I parked the car. I walked into the mall full of expectation and stood there and watched families laughing and shopping and having a good time. I saw the lights and the stores and heard the music and all the noise and commotion, and I thought, this is the last place I need to be. So I got back in my car, I went back to my dorm room, and I thought, it's time for me to learn the difference between loneliness and solitude. And I did. I stayed in that room when I needed to. I didn't fight it anymore. I asked God to show me where He was in the midst of that. And I discovered the gift of solitude. Now, I am a pretty high extrovert. I get energized by being with people. But as I've gotten older, as I've been a pastor now for these many years, I've learned the importance of learning to be alone with ourselves, letting God fill those empty, insecure spaces within us, not just listening to the next promise or following the next shiny object that spins by us and invites us to step out into something new. My prayer for you and for all of us during this continuing pandemic time where things are opening up and we're able to step out of our homes a little bit more, but we still have to be very careful. My prayer is that we will all learn during this time what a gift solitude is. That even when we're in homes with our family who we're so close to, that we will find those moments of aloneness, of solitude, that we will not be afraid of them, and that we will listen to receive the small, still voice of God saying, I'm right here. You're never really alone. I will walk with you wherever your journey takes you. Do not be afraid. Until the next time, enjoy your solitude, and God bless.